Well, welcome back, everybody. We made it to Berserk Deluxe Edition number nine. Number nine. And yeah, I've got lots of things to say. I'm gonna be perhaps a little redundant in this intro because as I'm recording this, Volume 24 has not come out on Patreon yet, which means it's also not come out on YouTube. And as of right now, only Volumes 22 and 23 are on YouTube and Patreon, respectively. So there's probably going to be comments next week that will tie back to the dreaded Volume 23, and we'll have to cover it then and clear it up. But I would be remiss not to mention those before we dive into this. But I'm really excited. I went back today this morning and I walked outside. I listened back to the volume 24 discussion. I had some notes that I made that I hadn't noticed when I was reacting that I was like, oh, I want to talk about those. But these are the comments. So we're going to start with those and just kind of go through them. And I didn't write them out on Whiteboard Coon because at this point, like I said last week, I feel like Whiteboard Coon just needs to be here so that if I need him to explain something or write something down for my own benefit, he will be here. Because I've realized the last several volumes when he's not here and then I think about something and I'm like, damn, I wish he was over here. And then it's more convenient that way. So sorry you don't get to see Guts behind me. Apologies. We may not even use Whiteboard Coon this volume, but I have a feeling we might. So I want to start off by talking about Ace 22 in the Discord talked about more Behelits being used. The more the Behelits are used, the more our worlds start to fuse together. And I was like, oh, maybe. Like, they're reading the same time I am, so I'm assuming that they're not lying to me. But yeah, so we're reading at the same time and they're like, I wonder if the more Behelits are used, the more the worlds fuse together. And I'm like, yeah, that kind of would make sense. And then it's like the God Hand are just roaming around in a white van, just handing out Behelits like they're candy to everybody to use. Because that ties back to Moomin being like, oh yeah, we'll talk about Moomin's comment about the new Band of the Hawk being apostles. And I'm like, wait, what? So that's a pretty good idea, Ace. I'm kind of on board that they're trying to fuse the worlds together, and we'll talk more about that. Emperor Gaiseric noted that Conrad, and I hadn't connected this together, we saw Conrad become the big pile of rats that was really disgusting back a couple volumes ago, that it was Conrad spreading the plague through Midland to make them ripe for the Kushan invasion. And then Slan was leading to the events that we saw her in the den with the heretics that climaxed, literally and figuratively, at the Tower of Conviction. So they've been trying to create Grievous' new form, but as Emperor Gaiseric says, not all goes according to plan, specifically with Guts and Casca being the main, forks in that, and then the baby getting involved. So yeah, it's like laws of causality, my ass. Y'all are letting this happen for reasons. I'm like, you guys are manipulating fate quite a bit. But what I liked about last volume was the idea that for the last 23 volumes, I've been so frustrated with Miura suggesting that the laws of causality and fate, it's out of our control. I'm like, but is it? And then this volume, it took us 24 volumes to get here, but then they talk about the idea of encounters and that fate presents us with encounters, but we have free will and a choice to either accept one outcome or the other. The problem is the God Hand is manipulating a lot of people into choosing a specific choice in that encounter, and that's what's problematic. So I really liked that. But Cooper Little 3859 I did a double take with this. They were like, oh, don't worry, the H in Berserk stands for happiness. Good one. I was like, oh, yep, that's where we're at. So thank you, Cooper. That gave me a laugh, which I needed after volume 23. So Moomin says that the new Band of the Hawk are technically apostles. I'm assuming so. That's what they said. I'm like, how do we know this? Are the Behelits just being thrown around at this point? Because if they're apostles, that means they've made a deal with the devil and they've used the Behelits. So, okay. It kind of makes me want to know more about their backstories and what led them to make those decisions, but I don't know if Miura will expand upon it or not, or if they're just going to be like, yeah, we know this song and dance. We know what conditions get us to become apostles. So now you do the math and figure it out yourself. But I also appreciated Moomin's comment about the dark places that a mind can wander, especially if you're a caregiver, and how Guts regrets that moment of weakness. And I do I do think that comment helped me to rationalize a little bit. I'm more frustrated with Guts on the side of him being in a romantic relationship with someone than from the sense of being a caregiver. And I see what Miura is getting at, and I see how that could help people get through their own thoughts. That there's like a more social thing with it that I take umbrage with, but I see how someone in that situation could find comfort knowing that Guts shares that responsibility and that remorse for having those thoughts, right? So I get that and I appreciate that. Which leads me to the next couple of comments. Wolf made this comment saying the story is mostly for a male audience. And the perspective of men is, and I'm paraphrasing a little bit, but saying the perspective of men with limited knowledge of writing the female experience. So, look. And then their exact words were, it was the only way they could think of to make the narrative interesting and dramatic. And I was going to write bullshit in giant red letters here and flip over whiteboard coon, but that was going to take a lot of effort and I didn't feel like exerting that this morning. So I want to talk about that. Could Miura have done better? Could Miura have done better? Now, to their credit, they did not acknowledge that this is possibly the greatest weakness of his writing, which I will agree with wholeheartedly. But here's my thing, and this is what has kind of frustrated me. At the very beginning, when we talked about Miura having a female writing consultant, two of his best friends are women, the creators of Yona the Dawn and March Comes In Like a Lion, which you should watch those series, especially if you're a heterosexual man. You should probably watch those series. I highly recommend them. But here's my little tea about that. And obviously this doesn't apply to people who are non-binary or whatnot, but it is so fascinating to me that not just Berserk, not just Miura, but I've heard of other male mangaka needing female writing consultants. They need to know how women think. I know 0 female writers that need male writing consultants. And there are several female writers that have wrote majority male characters. They didn't need a consultant to tell them how the male mind works. And it shows to me the kind of societal disconnect we have where men just don't understand women. And I'm like, well, maybe if you tried to empathize with them and talk to them, you might, you could learn some things. But it's just Miura's writing kind of shows me that one, I'm baffled because I'm like, you have 2 female writers that are your close friends. Did you proof this through them? Did they go, hey Miura, what you doing? I appreciate they were still friends with him after all of this, but I don't like that excuse. Well, it's just they don't understand the female experience. I'm like, then do your research. Case in point, right? Don't lock yourself in a cellar. Go out and talk to people. I mean, it's the Anno message, right, from Neon Genesis. But then I'm like, there are tons of female writers who don't know the male experience, but they don't write essay in their stories, you know? And I was thinking about this the other day, about how I was thinking about this, and I don't know if this is going to come out in any of the other comments, but I'm like, if this is a story for men primarily, why are the women getting assaulted? Isn't this supposed to be about characters that connect to the men? Isn't this supposed to be about characters that connect to their own experience? How is female essay connecting to them at all? And what is it showing them? My point is, if it's showing them the horrors of the world and the horrors of this experience, but yet your excuse of why it's there is because we can't connect with those experiences, then why aren't any of the male characters being assaulted? And I'm just asking an honest question. Why isn't Serpico? Why wasn't Judo? Why wasn't Corcus? Why wasn't Rickert? Why wasn't Godo? Why wasn't Puck? Why wasn't Isidro? Why wasn't what's his face? Jerome. The one guy, Joachim, he wasn't really assaulted. He was consensual in it. Why wasn't any of the male characters in this story that you could possibly find your audience connecting with subjugated to the same event that a female character that they can't connect with subjugated to as well? How come? And I don't see an answer to that question. It just goes back to the same, oh, it was historically accurate. Oh, it was male experience. It doesn't address any of those things. And that's just to say, I had someone in the comments say that I just find Berserk misogynist and sexist. And I was like, look, if I just found Berserk to be that way, I would stop reading, y'all. I would close the book. I'd finish it all on my own time. I'd come back to you all and say, here were my final thoughts, and I'll give them later. But if I just thought Berserk was that, then I wouldn't be reading this story. But the problem is, I do think it's more than that. And I am talking about the other themes in the story. But I've also been told in the comments that no one else is talking about this. And it's such a integral part of the story. And it's such a huge portion. And Miura can't go, he's gone 2 volumes so far where there's not been one instance of SA. That's it, in 24 volumes. And I'm like, you keep going back to the same narrative choice. And it's just like no one's calling it out. So I feel the need to call it out. And I feel like a lot of people are scared to say something about it. Again, we talked about that last volume, about that narrative in our society about speaking up about this. But there's also a lot of people that they don't want to get, canceled by the fandom. And I'm like, well, fuck that. I'm reading this for fun. Like, I'm just going to call it like I see it. And it's just, I'm not so mad at Miura at this point, but just that the fandom is defending it so much. I'm like, you can admit that Miura made a mistake. He made a bad decision. It's okay. The series is still good, but we can still call him out on his flaws. I was joking in the Discord. I was like, I feel like I've never had the problem with calling someone out post-mortem. And I feel like, I remember in 2021 when Miura passed, everyone on social media, it was this big exodus of just all of this heartfelt words and comments, which is amazing and great. And I respect Miura as an author. He's written some really, really great things in the story. But I remember being excited about reading Berserk because I was like, oh, this mangaka is so celebrated and so beloved. I'm like, I can't wait to get into the story. And now I'm getting into it and I'm like, yeah, he's done some really amazing things, but this man ain't a saint. Let's be real. And I feel that no one can show me interviews where he kind of reveals that, he understands what he did. I feel like in the interviews I've seen so far, he knows what he did and he's not going to apologize for it. And I'm like, oh, okay. All right. I told everybody in the Discord, I feel like some of the fandom, I'm like, what's he going to do? Haunt me? I'm like, really, honestly, it's like, I've never had that idea of like, oh, once they've died, they're martyred in saintdom. I'm like, that's not the case. I mean, I'm an English major, so I'm used to people ridiculing authors from hundreds of years back. I mean, think of Shakespeare right now and how many people ridicule him and call him mediocre. And I'm like, he's either the greatest playwright of Western generations or he's mediocre. It's like, look at that, right? And I feel like the same thing has happened recently, like with Akira Toriyama. I love Dragon Ball Z. I love it. But have I been around when people were joking about certain flaws with it? Oh, yeah. There are memes and jokes about flaws within Dragon Ball Z. But once that author passes, it's like, we can't say that anymore. And I'm like, yeah, you can. You can. It's okay. I honestly think, I told everybody in the Discord, I feel like Miura would celebrate us challenging him. I feel like he'd be like, all right, yeah, let's go. And he'd crack his knuckles and be like, let's debate. And I'm like, cool, let's do that. And that's the only sad thing. I wish he was around to see these reactions because I would love to talk to him and be like, what do you think about all this? I would love to confront him about it. But sadly, we can't do that. So that's the sad thing. But blaming this on a limited knowledge of the female experience, I'm like, that just means you haven't talked to women. And I talked to my friends about this a few days ago, not specifically about Berserk, but just about a societal thing. We were talking about dating and things like that. And my 2 friends, they're like, nobody we talk to, like, it's either everything is sexual or everything's this. Nobody wants to develop a communicative relationship. Nobody wants to develop any bonds. It's just they meet you, they want to have sex, and then that's it. And they're like, ugh. And I'm like, yeah, nobody wants to try to understand. And so I'm hoping with Berserk and with Guts struggling with Casca that he tries to understand her. He tries to build that relationship and rebuild it from the ground up. I told my moderators, I was like, he was on my shit list for what he did in volume 23, but the fact that he knows he did something horrible, I'm like, good. First step is recognizing you did something bad. Guts has done that. The next step is, okay, well, what are you going to do about it? Are you just going to wallow in misery or are you going to work? are you going to put in the effort and the time to rebuild that relationship and try? And that's what I hope that Guts does. So anyway, soapbox done there, right? Okay, so Amir Alman talks about the theme of ambition and now how those who seek it are often used as a stepping stone. They said that was the main theme of the story. I respectfully disagree with that. I think that Miura is tackling a whole lot of themes. I don't think that he's necessarily saying this one theme is the most theme of them all. I think that he's trying to tackle a lot of different things at once. And for the most part, he does it very successfully. So I do think that there is that idea of hero worship and idolism that Miura is challenging by, you know, looking at the religious structure of organized religion, looking at Griffith, aka Femto, as this new savior, all of that good stuff. Synthetic vocalist talked about, despite all the talks we've had with Godot, who is, I think, cursing beyond the grave. I'm like, Godot is like, Guts, we've talked about this. He's like, Guts saw Griffith and he relapsed. And Guts, the thing that I was like kind of, again, this is really briefly going back to that, is Guts, they noted in their comment that Guts was aroused seeing Casca naked, and that caused him to try to do sexual assault. And I'm like, the F is wrong with y'all. If that is that what you think. I'm like, I just don't. My thing again, and this is my last time I'm going to say it. I'm probably going to gruntingly sigh throughout this volume and the remaining volumes until it's potentially solved, is the fact that Casca can't communicate or defend herself and it's frustrated him. That is solely a Miura plot contrivance. There's been a bunch of people tell me, well, Casca's not like, she's like that because of PTSD. I'm like, yes, but if Guts is allowed to work through his PTSD, Casca should be allowed the exact same rights. She's our main character. It's not like a side character who, you know, if they didn't get through it, well, they're a side character. Doesn't matter. But she's like the main character alongside him. So I'm like, I'm going to hold it up to a higher standard. Anyway, and then John Smoke, 1785, talked about SA being historically correct. And that is like my least favorite argument. One, historically correct because of the patriarchy writing history. Okay, sure. I'm like, well, what is the point of using a historically accurate plot point in a story with trolls and witches and fairies? Come on now. That's not a good enough excuse. It's not smart enough. What is the result? And then they told this story, and I kind of told the moderators, it really disturbed me a little bit. And I'm sorry to call you out, but you left the comment, so it's out there. But it was like, they talked about how their partner went through an active SA, which I'm sorry for your partner. That's awful. And then they made the comment saying that, well, you know, for my partner or for you, meaning me, the SA is probably too much. But because I've not experienced it, it's not too much. And I had to stop and stare at that comment for a long time. And that led me back to the whole point of, well, then why are we having women assaulted in this story if you can't relate to it? And so it's not too much for you. Just things to think about, things to mull over in your mind a little bit. And it's things like that that keep me talking about it in this story, because it's not clicking to people. They'll sit there all day long in the comments and be like, we know it's a bad thing. I'm like, then you should not want it to happen in the story. And I will go back to it one more time before I go on. With Guts, there is a grand total of 2 pages of assault in the entire manga. In 24 volumes, 2 pages. We get 1 page, 1 instance, and then we get a backtrack to it in a flashback. That's all we get. And people will tell me all day long, well, Guts got assaulted and it was horrible. And I'm like, yeah, you got it in 2 pages. That's all you needed. But how many pages, how many different times have we seen it happen to these other characters? But, oh, it's just so awful. I'm like, well, if it's just so awful, you shouldn't need it anymore. So that's where I'll leave it. But I'm like, I am not fooled by the deniers or the people that are trying to place blame because they've suddenly found a little bit of insecurity or guilt in there and they're like, oh shit, I'm being called out. And I'm like, yeah. So that's where I'll leave it. But those comments, I was like, ooh, tea's a little cold. But yeah, I do want to give a shout out to Damukra, Anime Edits 54, Fane Wolf, Nihilian, a lowercase 21, Daryl of Arnardo, Derek Star 4261, Andraska 724, and Miroslav Ostapinko. I want to give a shout out to all of you all because of your kindness. Like, a lot of your comments were very kind and understanding and trying to offer different perspectives and rationalizing through it and giving perspectives in a way that were kind and considerate and intelligent and conversational. And so thank you for that. I really, really appreciate it. My last comments before we dive into this were just things that I did reviewing from this last volume. I was frustrated in volume 23 with Farnace being at the bottom of the barrel with her character. And now looking back, I'm like, okay, I get she's coming from the ground up. I honestly have liked Farnace's character a lot. I like a flawed female character as long as it works. And I appreciate that she's like rising from the ground up. She's remaking herself. She's being open-minded to it. I, of course, am a little bit frustrated that it's Farnace getting this storyline and, you know, not the female character that needs it. But I'm okay with it. I'm okay with that. Guts. Will Guts think that the talisman... I thought about this. He has this talisman thinking it's protecting him from the demons. I wondered if he's going to think the talisman is protecting him and then realize that he's not been harming Casca because it's been him all along and not the talisman. So I wonder if some point he has this talisman and he thinks that that's keeping the demon dog at bay, and he's going to realize at some point the talisman faded a long time ago and it's just been him developing a better relationship with Casca. That would be awesome. And I think that the thread that Schierke has put on their fingers that allows them to communicate telepathically, rereading volume 24, she was like, oh, well, it should be impossible for it to let them do that, just talk to themselves telepathically. I'm like, but Guts and Casca kind of defy the impossible because they're these sacrifices that defy the laws of causality and could possibly defy the laws of magic. So I don't think it's going to be immediate because Schierke makes the comment in volume 24 that it shouldn't be possible for them to communicate with one another just via telepathically in the thread for now. It may take us a long time to get there, but I'm hopeful that this thread will allow Guts and Casca to eventually communicate, even if it's not verbally, and rebuild that relationship. That would be a smart narrative decision, Miura. Let's see if you pick up on it and run with it, because that would be a really convenient and handy way to do it. I'm just saying. We'll see if that goes anywhere. So the land of idea, we had the idea of the astral world and the human world merging together slowly but surely. And the idea of the soul, the idea is over here. I'm wondering if the God Hand wants to tap into that it's the other afterlife. Like, it kind of seems like the astral world leads to hell when you get to the vortex. I'm wondering if the idea leads to heaven, or if it's like the concept of heaven and the God Hand are trying to take control of it. And so they're trying to merge the human and astral world together, get powerful enough there to break into the other dimension. Could possibly be. The astral and physical worlds could be merging, but the God Hand needs to maintain a physical presence. So Griffith is technically, when he had that conversation with Mule about the dead spirits going to become one, yeah, they're going to basically make new Behelots, and they're just going to continue this endless cycle. Griffith is trying to gain popularity and power over the sheep so he can keep creating Behelots, keep getting stronger and stronger and stronger, merge the two worlds together, and then invade the final dimension. And that's their overall goal, to take control of everything. Or that's how it seems to me. And so then the irony of it all, I thought the irony from volume 24 was the church technically blocked out the astral world's presence. They were like, because the people stopped believing in the astral world and believing in this like secular religion, they just suddenly they were blocking it out. But it seems like the God Hand has ironically taken control of the church, a concept that would technically prevent them from being seen, but they're using that to try to get rid of the good presences in the astral world. So you have the idea of the elves or the witches that have done good for the people of the human world, and the God Hand's trying to use the church to block them out of existence so they can't stop them. I'm like, oh, that's so devious, so devious. And then finally, I thought about this as I was walking this morning and thinking about why Schierke looked at Guts' sword weird. I wonder if the sword that Guts has been gaining all of these residuals of demon's blood. It's been killing demons over and over and over again. It's got all of this residual negative demonic energy built up in it, and that's causing the dog to get amplified on like Guts's back like a host. And so Schierke is maybe noticing like, oh, hey, is all this demonic energy gathered onto your sword and you just aren't noticing it? I'm wondering if at some point Guts is going to have to put down the sword to save Casca, which would be the ultimate test of his character, because Guts right now is so hell-bent on keeping that sword. He won't take any other weapon, no other magic weapon given to him by Schierke. He's like, nope, this is my sword. This is the only thing I know. If at one point thematically, he's going to have to drop the one thing he knows to save the person that he should save, and the person that's the salvation to his soul. That'd be great. That'd be a really cool idea, Miura. Let's see if it pans out. Who knows? I'm sure Miura has a lot of plans that I can't see now that will turn out to be really good plans. So let's go. I had to order a new book stand. My other book stand, after 23 volumes, it broke. It finally, the little tongs holding the pages together broke off. And then I was doing another reaction where I had to use a manga, and the whole thing just collapsed. And I was like, oh. So I've ordered a new book stand. I've learned my lesson not to use the same type of prongs. So thank you, Patreon, for helping me buy this $30 stand. But we're going to get started and go to from there. So that was only 25 minutes, just a mild detour. So we're going to start Berserk, volume 26, right? Yep, volume 26. Or no, 25. We're on volume 25. I'm getting ahead of myself. 26 is into the deluxe edition. So volume 25 of Berserk. And we're going to do that here in 3, 2, 1. And let's do this. All right. Ooh. Oh, hello. Hello, Schierke. Oh, with like the roof and looks like water. Oh, and like a thread coming from her witch's hat. Yes, please. Yes, please. Thank you. I'm all for this. Let's go on this. All right. Yeah, Serpico using his fairy magic. I love that the fairies, the paper fairies, they kind of look like from Spirited Away. If you've seen that movie, the little paper spirits that are attached to. In that movie, they're attached to this character called Yubaba, which is a witch too. So was Miyazaki influenced by Berserk? Could have been. Could have been. Oh, I love it! Serpico! Oh, it just cut their heads off. Yes, he didn't even touch them with the sword, but the little feather duster sword like cut their heads off and hacked their limbs apart. Well, that's rather handy. That's rather handy indeed. You are more fierce than I expected, spirits. And I love the idea of belief, that it's the idea of believing that connects him to be able to use it. Yeah, so this is an incredibly handy ability because it's definitely a long range attack, like him being able to attack from long range without striking. The problem is, oh, okay. Oh, good. I was like, the problem is that if he gets attacked close up, it's a feather duster, so it's not an actual sword. So how is it going to save him? But... oh, okay, the spear. Got him. Nice. So amazing is real magic. Quite heartening in a fight against monsters. Oh, I love this panel of Serpico with his hair billowing. So pretty. And like it's interesting, the fairies like wrapping around the sword, the feather duster there, reminds me a little bit of the helix with the god hand, which they're all from the astral world, so it kind of makes sense. Real magic. Well, I'll be damned if you're going to have all the fun. Wins where it's at. Wins the bomb. I got to test this thing's power. Oh, perfect. He's mine. Don't jump in. It's like a little mini troll. Oh, come on, Isidro. No, yeah, exactly. Did we not learn from prior that the trolls lure you in and then they ambush you? Yes. Oh, the berries. They don't like them. Yeah. It kind of reminds me of when you have ants at your house and you want to like repel them, but not necessarily kill them. You just get like coffee grounds or vinegar or something like that. They hate it. So they just get get repelled by it. Oh no. Miura, is this Miura's like big nose fetish era? He's like, I just want to draw these huge noses. They're just like nose first. Oh God, are they eating themselves? Yeah, ew. Oh, damn, Casca, no. Well, of course Casca's the one to fall. Uh, oh. For Farnesay to sacrifice herself, that's really, really sweet. And then, of course, Serpico's like, nope, not going to have a bit of that. No, 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 no. Lady Farnesay laid down her life for someone else. Yeah, that's huge. That is huge for her character. Mm-hmm. Oh. But now they're surrounded. It seems the talismanic power of the silver is working. I'll open a path for escape, make for the church. He's going to hog all the fun, eh? Meanwhile, let me get this back up here. Meanwhile, get this. Still learning how this thing all works on there. There we go. Okay, someone's surrounded. They're the witch's companions. They stayed back so we could escape. Fools, I warned them. Oh, well, there's Guts. Yes, imbecile. The hand of man is no match for those things. Be not rash. I'm like, well, would we say Guts is using the hand of man? Would we say that? Oh, I mean, they look like, the trolls look like monkeys mixed with Nigel Thornberry, mixed with pigs, mixed with boars. I guess boars would be a good comparison to be mixed with as well. Oh. Wow, that profile of Guts' face where he just, hey, there goes an eye. We haven't had one of those in a while. That profile of Guts' face with them chiseled features. Guts is like, yeah, I'm not having it. Oh my gosh. Yeah, jeez. And just smacking the sword above his shoulder. Dim biceps, I tell ya. Oh my god. You know, just Guts being Guts. Mirror of Sin. Interesting. Is the Mirror of Sin going to be talking about Guts being a monster the same as them, perhaps? And the priest calling him out on it? Oh, I've missed this. I've missed Miura doing the whole, like, showing the motion in the attack, like showing different versions of Guts along the lines at the same time. I've missed that. That's a good callback for us. Oh my gosh. Yeah, and the trolls just falling at their feet. Miura drew Guts really, really good throughout this. Like, he looks great. And everybody's just like, and that would be why he has no need of magic. Human windmill. Ignorant saps. I bet that opened their eyes. Serves them right. We need to run in the church. He's good. That man could drive the trolls out of here. Interesting. Oh, and here we go. Get Schierke up there. That guy's amazing. It's Ivalera. Ivalera is the female fairy's name. That many trolls and without magic. I can't tell which side's more monstrous. True. He is superhuman. I like she has her hand on the little god hand thing. Which is very phallic now that I look at it. Is this another result of him remaining in the interstice where it's easy for the mind to affect matter, or that shadow that coils about his sword? Yes! So it could be that the sword is demonic. Yeah, it could be the sword is absorbing all of this demonic energy and getting stronger and stronger. That would make sense. Are we prepared, Ivalera? You know it. I stuck the charm just like you said on the wall in the direction you told me. All right. Oh, she's nervous. Everyone. I will now use magic to extend a bulwark around this church. Everyone, please make haste inside. I love her. I would totally dress up as Schierke. I need to find myself a witch's hat. All right. What are you doing up there? Oh, come on now. Of all the cursed. Chief, go and drag that girl down immediately. Well, you know, she said she used magic. I saw them. The girl's companions tore through those trolls without laying a hand on them. She's here with yonder swordsman. Well, the fact remains it's dangerous here. Everyone inside her. I like the priest is just like, you know what? We're going to save everybody and then talk about it later. Please buy me some time. And she's telling them all that telepathically. Okay. She's like, let me get everybody inside and then we'll be good. Lady Farnesay, you must go inside as well. Casca's care is in your hands. Just stand back and throw berries. I don't think so. I beseech you, spirits. Serpico's like, come on, help me out. Go away, go away. I would probably be Isidro in this idea of just like telling them to go away. It's real magic. He cuts down the trolls without touching them. Old Man Morgan really brought them here. Magic users. Magic, absolutely ridiculous. I will not permit such behavior in the house of the Lord. Oh, come on now. And Farnesay is like, oh, the priest, he's going to cause problems. I like that he goes up to talk to her. It's like, what? Hey, what gives? We're busy right now, so back up. Can he see Ivalera? Because he's talking to her. Come down from there this instant. Oh, what are you talking about? You make me mad. Who do you think Schierke's doing this for? Oh, he smacked her! He smacked the fairy! No! You're the one who has to stop. Oh, there we go, Farnesay. There we go. That girl's attempting to protect the village. Can you not see? With her magic, she can do it. We were saved too. Silence, even should I live until the fullness of my days. If it's because I replied upon some wicked intervention, what would it mean? This is the will of God. The entire village should entrust all the fate that God has assigned it. This man's the same. Farnesay has honestly gone through such a journey, and to see her come from being so self-righteous and being so dismissive to her kind of like starting from the ground up. It's really interesting. The same as the old me, sending people to their deaths in the name of God. I have no right to speak. And Casca's like, ain't you gonna do something? Ain't you gonna say something? You know. She looks so innocent there. And she's like, look, I gotta protect Casca, and in order to protect Casca, I gotta talk to this guy. Oh, Schierke's in a trance when she's chanting. Oh, well, that is a weakness, that Schierke has to be in a trance while she's doing her magic. Let go of her. Oh, shit. Well, that's not good. That's not good at all. Moomin was pointing out that Farnesay actually doesn't have any experience as a swordsman. She just has been a figurehead. That bugs me a little bit, because even if you're just a figurehead in an army, you're telling me she has no sword experience? She just sat on a horse the entire time and did absolutely nothing? Like, she could have at least learned some basic things. Oh my god. Oh my god, and the trolls hanging off the pillar that represents Griffith. That is terrifying. Nope. Nope. So meanwhile, our manly men, they're battling out against the trolls. Okay. That is nasty. Look out, lest you be eaten. Are these things really specters? They reek of shit and blood. What gives? They have us pinned in. And then Serpico's like, Lady Farnesay, no! And then Guts is like, well, Casca's probably with her. You two go. I can handle this alone. Take care of the women folk and those inside. I hope that when they get done with this, I know with Casca, because of plot contrivances, it's hard to teach her to do anything. But I hope that when this is done, that they at least try to teach Farnesay, like we're focusing on teaching Isidro sword fighting techniques. This kid's got a magic dagger that lights fire to things. How about we focus on teaching Farnesay some self-defense and teach her some swordsmanship so that she's not just standing there with her thumb up her ass doing absolutely nothing. That should be a priority once we get done with this. I think that would be our next step, right? That would be my next step. I'd be like, hey, can you guys teach me some self-defense so I'm not just standing here? Yeah. All right. Okay, I can't get through, you know. Oh, damn it. So what do we do? Oh, his cape. Oh! Oh! Him using the cape. Oh, to move through, like, time and space? What? I mean, if you can envision it, if you can see it, you can dream it. Am I right? Oh, he was able to go past them. He jumped over us. No, he flew. That's my Air Force. Oh, it's always him. Man, that would have been a lot of help on that cliff side of when he was fighting Guts. Would have been a lot of help there. Hold out for a second, Isidro. Hold on for a bit. Oh my god. What are they going to do around Casca? She doesn't have the baby with her. What's with them and the nose? Oh, she like yelled to attract their attention over. Oh, okay. Oh. Oh my gosh, and her with the little dagger there. Yeah, we need to teach this girl some West Side Story fighting moves. Yes, on the rooftop. Now it makes sense. Now the start of the volume makes sense. Oh, I love that shot. I love the shot of her with the ripples. It's so pretty. Okay. So now I'm out. Oh. There's always just more of them. The hell's Schierke doing? She's all talk. Isidro, she's got it rough right now. You have some patience. This is do or die. It's payback time. Rotten Moomin freaks. Moomin, don't take offense to that. Isidro is not calling you out. Oh. Oh, crap. The sword is swinging me around. Oh. Okay. So, because it's his sword fighting. Oh. Morgan. Old man. Oh, damn. He took his cane and bopped that thing. Oh, good job, Morgan. Don't make a kid and an old man do it all. Yeah. Oh, I love the people fighting up against the trolls. Like, oh, good. I love that Morgan, like, this old man they ridiculed at the start of the story, he stands up and he's like, hey, we can stop this. Let's do something. And again, this is going back to Guts' whole thing where he's like, are you just going to stand there and pray and not do anything? Or are you going to take action? Because you can do both. And, I love it. I love them standing up to help them. Yes. Oh, from empty space, land, sea, sky, fire, earth, wind, and fire, baby. Do you remember the 21st of September? I call the four invisible lords to this place. O blessed liege of the east. Shelter us here at this place. Light for us thy flame of warmth and protection, whose spirit rises over the mountains as a zephyr, and whose golden raiment gleams like the sun. Oh! It looks like not only a person with all the frills, it looks like a bell, it looks like a wave, it looks like what Griffith would like to be. It looks like, it's weird, the way that it looks like Femto's helmet from the back, and then it billows out into like all these frills that Griffith used to wear. But I feel like this is what Griffith would like to become, but... Oh. So, I want to real quick take a brief moment and bring this over here and talk about how we have with the God Hand, right? With the God Hand, and that marker is about dust. But we have here basically... Oh, that marker is dust. Do I have another one that I can use? Maybe, possibly. All right. Ooh, these markers are wasting away to practically nothing. We need to find one that actually works. Give me just a second, y'all. Get here. Maybe this one will. Well, that's better. So, anyway, with the God Hand, there is 5 of them, right? And it seems that here we have the 4 invisible lords, right? And then they are elementals. So the God Hand are based kind of on sins and despair, right? Like plague, pestilence, they're like the apocalypse, 4 horsemen, and then their king or whatever. And here we have the elementals that are like earth, fire, and wind. Oh, it says land, earth, sky. Earth basically land, fire, sea, and sky. And basically, it seems like there's also the 4 of them serving this, like, one higher power. I'm curious. I'm curious to know what that higher power is. What's the deal with it? Interesting. I don't know. But that's gorgeous. I love that. I love that spread. Oh, blessed liege of the West, whose name trembles even the water spirits who caper beneath the waves. Oh, blessed liege of the South, the four directions. Oh, brilliance greater than everlasting flame is thy majesty. Oh, the four lords are the four directions. Okay. So the east is like the eastern wind. That's the billowing ruffles. Okay. So you have sky, which is the east. You have sea, which is the west. You have fire, which is the south. And you have north. It is for thy rule that all living beings of the earth rejoice. Oh, and then you have earth or land, which is the north. Oh, wow. I feel like the fact that the sky is east and the water is west ties to Japan, and the fact that, you look to the west and it's like all the sea, but then you can say it other ways. But I love this. I love that the four invisible lords are like basically the spirits that are all around them. I also like the idea that the four invisible lords, the flame with the sword, I like that the flame one has a sword. Love that. But I also like that they're invisible. They aren't calling attention to themselves. They aren't claiming pride or credit or anything like that. That's not their jam. They just want to provide for the rest of the dimension without being acknowledged. Whereas you have the God Hand that are all about ego. They're beings of ego. They want to be acknowledged. They want to be recognized. They want to gain power. Whereas the four invisible lords, they're like, we're already powerful. What we need that for? That's so good. Nice. Oh, in all places, may we be protected by the four sacred lieges, and all our woes kept distant from us. Oh, they have names. Gepla, Ateg, Markto, and Gedula. Oh, okay. So they all have names protecting them. So sky is Gepla, and sea is Gedula, and then south the fire is Markto, and then the north is Ateg. I don't know if those names mean anything specifically or are tied to anything specifically, but they have names, or at least they have chants that bring them forth. Le Orum. Okay. And then Serpico and Guts are like, oh, we all good now? And the sky opening up. Oh, I love it. The Arcana of Invocation. Ooh, all right. I like Serpico and everybody just being like, what? Oh, wow. And all of it flooding in. Oh, wow. This is, oh, and you can see the fire killing the trolls to the light, and then the waves of the winds and the wounds closing up like it's healing them. And then Puck's like, I've powered up too. Is this her magic? Yes, Isidro, it is her magic. Wow. The problem with this, as amazing as it is, the problem with this is that when the God Hand finds out that Schierke is capable of doing this and possibly swaying the masses from worshiping Griffith to believing in magic, they're not going to be pleased. And we're just putting a target on Schierke. So I'm a bit worried about that. I'm a bit worried that Schierke has a target on her back now because of what she can do. And I like her, and I don't want her to be hurt. I was in time. I told you, I used magic to extend a bulwark around the castle, around the church. As long as the barrier does not vanish from my subconscious, any ethereal beings within its boundaries would do us harm are expunged. Oh, such heresy. I like that Ivalera says, serves him right. This four-hued light is a spiritual power of great beings deep within the astral world who love and protect us. It has become manifest in the physical world. So we basically have the four God Hand that remain in the astral world, the four invisible lords, and Griffith in the physical world trying to overturn them. Okay, stakes. We're getting that all established. Those great beings are the four cardinal guardian angels written in of your holy scriptures. Oh! Whatever different words you use to express them, the mantras chanted may differ, but are not souls in want of salvation all the same? To divide and oppress people because of those differences is folly. The sun is the sun and the light is the light. God's name belongs only to God. It is not for man to conduct. Oh my God, yes. But why? Our mantras do not have this kind of power. They don't call forth miracles like your spell. A church is a sanctuary where people communicate with angels or spirits. A magician constructs a sanctuary within her own mind. The spirit is not of this mortal body, but exists within the spiritual world, right? As for those who exist as ideas, the mind is all with which we can perceive them. Oh, okay. So, again, my markers are not wanting to be the best. So, essentially, if we're going back to this, we've got the human realm here, and we have the astral world here. They're both physical worlds, but in different spaces, and they're slowly crumbling together to be this kind of new world. But then adjacent to that is the realm of idea, which is this place that's kind of like the subconscious. Adjacent to it, it seems, where anything is possible as long as it can be perceived. So if this world here gets mixed in with the new world, then that could be a problem, because the God hand, who can manipulate quite easily, might try to like use it to their benefit to overthrow the entire world. But I love the message that she has here. The message is, she's like, whatever religion you believe in, it is the idea that you're believing in this higher power that is trying to be your salvation. That's why you believe in that, because you want to have something be a salvation to you and you want to believe in that. She's like, we're all worshiping the same thing. What are you doing? But at the same time, she's like, all these four guys, they're the angels that you all originally thought you were praying to, but you've been warped into praying for the God hand instead. And she's like, that's the problem. Oh, and I just love the idea that she's just like, we all want salvation. Why are you judging, and why are you excluding people and dividing them? What's the point? Girl, Schierke is my favorite. I love her so much. Regarding magic, the user must always consciously envision the figure of the spirit to be addressed, distinctly enough to be able to perceive it literally. It's not an attempt to believe in something one cannot see. So long as there's no margin of doubt, one can see, feel, fully perceive it. Spiritual perception. And then he sees the troll burning. Yes, humanity is capable of this. To sense and be sensed. Feel and be felt by those not of this world. No, magic, no. The arcana of invocation is not simply about repeatedly chanting mantras or meditating intently on your own wishes. It begins with recognizing and confronting the counterpart to whom you must impart your thoughts. But then at the same time, there are also great dangers involved. Yeah, if you can perceive something good, then it's a two-way street. If you can perceive these good things that are protecting you, then you also are able to perceive the bad things that are trying to hurt you. So it's kind of like you don't just get one without the other. It's just which one can you connect more with. Oh, I love this. I love all of this. I love the explanation of magic in this, and about believing and using spirituality and making it tangible. Oh, Miura, I love this quite a bit. Yep, they can't enter this light. That's one hell of a girl up there. I love her little face. She's just like, yes, yes, please. Can I help you? Can I help you, sir? That's so cute. Oh, what's that? Oh, well, uh-oh. What the fudge is this? What the fudge is this? Why? It looks like the nose of a dog that also became the head of the dog that has fingers. What? What is that thing? And then it has like a nose like a blue whale? A monster, the troll's daddy. Oh my god. It's an ogre. Oh, that's Miura's interpretation of an ogre. Oh, well, that's a problem. An ogre? Why is such a thing in the physical world? Well, that is terrifying. What do we do about that? What do we do about that? Oh. A mere ogre cannot pass this barrier. However, it can chuck things that can. Yeah, it may not be able to pass through the barrier, but the things that it holds and chucks can, and that's a problem. Crap. Well, yeah, that's not good. The barrier is effective against ethereal bodies, but has no effect on physical objects. Yeah, so it could chuck whatever it wants to try to destroy the barrier. Not good. Oh my god, it literally... Ah, it's so gross. It's just like a nose and a mouth fused together. Oh, what is this? Evil Horde Part 1. Miura! Miura, what acid you be smoking? You can tell how knowledgeable of drugs I am by that statement. Oh my god. I mean, a horse frog is incredibly creative, but the fudge is this nightmare fuel? Oh no. Ew. We're done for. With a monster like that out there, we have to create an opening. A chance for me to cast a spell. Oh, Guts. Guts is like, oh, you say you need an opening? Understood, boss! Yeah! Uh-huh. Oh my god. Look at how badass he looks. Yes, please. Alright. What's he thinking? He'll be trampled. No, he's pretty used to this kind of thing. Like the Puck's like, no. No, don't worry. Guts has handled this before. We're all good. We know what we're going after here. Oh my gosh. I love that. I feel like Miura, in drawing this monstrosity, it's Tuscan's mouth opening up like little tendrils almost look like a mustache. It's so gross. I feel like Miura is just like, look at this awesome thing I created. I want to draw it as much as possible with like its distended stomach. And I feel like Guts is going to carve the guts out of it. That's why that's there. Oh no. He cut off the monster's arm. I mean, he's about the same size as Zod was when he fought him back in the cavern. So amazing. I mean, we're backing up Isidro's belief that he is the greatest swordsman. But he does like Zod and fuses the arm back because of course he does. Oh. How can one human do this much with just his body and no magic? Well, Schierke, if you can figure that out, you will have solved the series because that's what we've all been wondering for how many volumes now? I don't know. I would be curious if Schierke comes to some kind of conclusion. Oh shit, look at this thing. A kelpie. A kelpie? With the water. You mean the horse that drowns travelers in rivers? A horse frog. Why is there a kelpie? The rain. Oh man. I like that it's like these creatures of legend, these like mythical creatures that have these legendary things happening. A kelpie in the rain is extremely dangerous. Oh, because of the thunder. Oh shit. Oh, a kelpie is an aquatic mid-grade spiritual beast. It easily subjugates elementals of the same type that are of lower grade, the ones that are without individuality. It attacks indiscriminately. They are just obeying their desires. Oh, back to that conversation of desires. They want to eat the ethereal bodies of living humans, which are rare for them. This is bad. I didn't anticipate an ogre and a kelpie on top of the trolls. I'll go. Serpico! Oh, showing off will get you killed. Don't be absurd. Fighting trolls is one thing, but it's all right. I'll buy adequate time so use a chance to cast your spell. You're going to die, but, Lady Farnesay, do your best to take care of Casca. Right? Serpico, you can't die. No, I refuse to believe Serpico is going to die in this. No. Suicide's no help. Oh my god, Serpico, what we doing? He flew. Oh, nice one. He mastered the sylphs that well in such a short time. Serpico's kind of a genius. Like, Guts is the only one that really knows it other than Farnesay, but... Oh, Serpico, come on. You better not die. No, 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 no. Lady Farnesay, I was unable to set you free. No, I didn't think to try. I was simply beside you, engulfed in a dark repose within another closed soul. Like another half of me. But that too seems to end now. I like that the kelpie's just sitting there. The kelpie's just like, hey, what's up? Oh, Serpico. I get what he's saying because he's like, yeah, I did all of this and I didn't really try to help you. I was too scared because the wind has blown. A wind strong enough to blow down everything you yearned for. Be careful, they aren't like the usual. Whatever the usual is, my. And so I shall at least see to it that my other half isn't torn to pieces in the storm. Why you gotta be a poet, Serpico? No, don't die. Oh, spirits of the wind, grant me power. Serpico, you gotta live, honey. You gotta live. Okay, this is a slight Bleach spoiler. And I'm just gonna say this, and if you don't want a Bleach spoiler, when I've done this, you'll know that the spoiler is over. So when I do this again, that means I'm done talking about Bleach for a hot second. But Serpico's character and design reminds me a lot of Gin from Bleach, and I feel like with like the slanted eyes and being mysterious and his power as a swordsman, I feel like Kubo drew reference from Bleach with Serpico into Gin's character. And although Farnese and Rangiku are the most polar opposite characters possible, I do feel like later on in Bleach, where Gin has his realization of how he didn't do anything to really help Rangiku in her struggles, he just kind of like stood adjacent to her. I feel like that conversation in the manga for Bleach is the exact same one with Serpico in this moment. Like Kubo was drawing from that for that character development in Bleach at that time. So just a side note, that's where my mind was at during this moment. So yeah, end of Bleach spoilers. Oh, a weight division tag team match. Oh my God, an open weight division. Like it's not limited in wrestling. You have different like categories, but here all bets are off. I should not be mad at Serpico and Guts fighting together against a Kelpie and an ogre. Didn't think we'd get here, but okay. Oh my gosh. You know what else is kind of influenced by this Kelpie? There's a Pokemon called, oh my God, what's the Pokemon's name? But it looks like an Okapi, and it is able to fire off it's an electric Pokemon, but it looks a lot like the Kelpie in a way. Oh, wow. The frog horse is my kind of opponent. Leave it to me. And he's like, I don't want to face the frog horse. So sure, I'm more suited for the one that looks like Zod. This one's more my style. It's simpler. That makes sense. Guts is like, I just want a simple fight. You can handle all the strategizing. That's all up to you. Sure. Oh my God. But yeah. So it just fighting with the roof. Oh, okay. All right. He did it. He took down the monster by himself. What? Oh, ew. They're all trying to eat at it. Oh yeah. They got its guts open. Well, that was really quick. That was insanely quick, actually. Oh, no. Okay. Ooh. A shrimp soon. Thus does a shrimp soon expire. Puck. Okay. Well, so the ogre's not going down swinging. A time like this, and I can't do a thing. Don't sweat it. You're one fine shrimp as shrimp go. Yeah, what a spectacle. You might not get a turn if you don't hurry. I have to make haste. I feel for Isidro because I feel like Isidro is conflicted that he can't do anything. But he's a kid, and these are horrific monsters. Oh, deep. A little beyond this. Stratum of the astral world. Oh, she looks so cute. Like, oh, you see like all the different spirits. You see the fire spirit with the sword, the wind spirit that's like got the billowy dress, I'm assuming the water spirit that has like the torrent around it, the earth spirit that's popping its head up like a Diglett. Oh, nice. And 4 of hers. This is a sanctuary. The ethereal form of the sanctuary on this hill before the church that was built. Oh yeah, because they built it on the burial ground. That's right. Undines, water elementals. The one this sanctuary was enshrined to. So she basically like tapped into the magic to see like, okay, this was once a shrine, and then they built the church over it. I love that they're all just in like little forms of helix. Meanwhile, oh crap, it's got a big long frog tongue. No! Cut that sucker off. There we go. This is no use. All my attacks are obstructed by a wall of water. Oh, so the water comes up to block his attacks. Okay. Conversely, I cannot hope to defend against all attacks. Who'd have thought a splash of water could pack such a punch? I'm being pushed around, though it cannot be helped, me being new to magic. He's like, give me some time and let me get some experience on me. Oh, shit. Oh, no. Oh, it's trying to drown him. No. Oh, that sucks. Nuh-uh. The idea of the water, like, creeping up. Ew. No. Oh, okay. Spouting water's not your only trick. I nearly drowned on land. Yeah, that's terrifying. But I understand now. The wind is capable of more of just slashing gusts. Spirits, I beseech you. Oh, okay. He's like, I can also use it to maybe infiltrate through the water. Oh, if I cannot cut through it, I'll simply blow it around. And use it to separate the water and give him an opening. Yes! Oh, no, shit! He stabbed it through! Oh! Oh! That's such a good shot of Serpico! But no! Oh, Serpico! Oh, shit. Oh, it got him. I was careless. Oh! We gouged its eye out. Oh, no. Oh, crap. Serpico's in danger. Oh, well, hell. Serpico, you'll fall, fool. Ew. The water's flowing away from the Kelpie. Oh. The water spouts on the trolls. What is it? Oh, wow. I love it. Yes. Oh, girl. Schierke. Oh, what is that? What are we seeing? Oh, is that the water spirit? Yes, it's a water spirit, not the water spirit. Schierke's become one with the spirit. It's called possession or something. Oh my gosh. And Guts is like, wow, when possession tries to happen to me, it's a bad thing. What is that? An angel. The actual... I am of the waterkin, the spirit of the rill that doth flow through this land. In accordance with the ancient oath do I cleanse this land of evil spirits that would stain it. In the name of the Lady of the Depths, the Lady in the Lake, I command the undines. With a raging torrent wash away into the dark depths of the netherworld the wicked spirits that fill this land. Oh, I'm all for this. I'm all for this water spirit, this angel, like, coming out, being like, you messed with my land, you messed with my water spirits. Water, I am water. That which gathers and flows through this rill. The water in and of itself. Gather, my kindred, gather, swell, surge, and flow. Oh, girl, there's so much they can do with Schierke in this manga. There's so much Miura can do with her to, like, show how she interacts with each of the 4 invisible lords. There's so much you can do. Yes, please. Let's get into that. A ground trimmer. Somehow this seems bad. Now what? She's totally gone water spit. No water. Oh, the river. It's overflowing and coming this way. Oh, to drown, to wash them all away. Wow. And, like, I love that she's, like, conducting where the water goes. Oh, that's so good. Guts is like, now this is magic. The trolls are being washed away. My house! The one guy's like, wait a minute. The insurance. Oh, and then, yeah. Guts managing to do one last swipe. Oh! Oh! Just cut the Kelpie's head off. I hope we're able to help Serpico, surely. Get inside, boy. You'll be swept away. Dropey. I like this is kind of indicating 2 things. One, showing how Isidro is frustrated that he wasn't able to do anything and that she's able to be the savior of the hour, right? And he wasn't able to help out in any way. But 2 it kind of mirrors Mule a little bit, where Mule was crying when he met Griffith, and seeing Isidro tearing up seeing Schierke, and the spiritual power connected to both of them. Interesting. Shaman. Oh, okay. Yep. I'm getting to the shamans and witches. Oh no, Guts has got his hair down. His little watery head. The trolls and the monsters were washed away. We've been saved. Mistress Witch! Mistress Witch! We did it, Dropey. Dropey. Oh. It feels like he wasn't adequate. And Morgan being like, yep, kid. It seems to have ended. This is a bit much. Schierke, that's enough. You got them all. Schierke? Oh, not good. We've got a little problem, maybe. This is bad. Her alignment with the water spirit's too strong, and she might become mesmerized. At this rate, what will happen? Well, she can't end the spell. Oh, Schierke. Oh, no, don't. If you jolt her out of the spell, do you know what will happen? Schierke's in the astral world right now. She's become one with the water spirit. You saw, and no doubt merged into the flow. If she were to be broken before her mind returns, it'll affect her body too. If we're not careful, it might not return, and then she'd be an invalid. Oh, well, that's a problem. Oh, that's like a major, like, price to be paid. And what should we do? I'm pretty sure when this happens, oh yeah, I've tapped this wand in time. Tap the wand instead of rhythm to cause the caster's consciousness to focus on this world. Or that's what Flora said. I never really got why. The rhythm's 777 time. 377. 373 times. Oh. Flow. Furiously surge. Intense swelling emotions. Anger. Joy. Inexpressible in human words. Irritating. Intense. Forced. Haste. Roar. I, ego, self, alone, individual, am the current water, rapid stream, river. Oh, ooh, I, the ego, the self. So that's interesting. So is it also this idea that the God Hand tried to tap into the 4 angels, but because they're human and thus flawed and not celestial, like larger than life forms, because they're flawed and have these emotions welled up inside of them, they were corrupted by tapping into that power and thus become the God Hand? Could there be a tie to that? Could be a tie to that? The idea of it being with the ego. Oh. A sound. Listen, Schierke. What's that? Making your mind one with the spirits is very important, but you mustn't be engulfed by it. For this reason, a magic user sounds her wand during a spell. You must retain your own consciousness. Don't forget the way of magic. Never means becoming one with a force. The way of magic. Oh, I love it! Yes! So basically, that's the difference between the magi, the shamans, the magicians, and the God Hand. The God Hand tried to become one with the Force, and the magicians are just channeling it, tapping into it, but they don't control it or become one with it. Oh, nice. Oh, I love that shot of Schierke. It's so beautiful. No, Casca! Casca, why are you always falling off of things? Why? Oh, shit, what? Guts and Serpico are like, we can't let them just stand on a rooftop without falling. Oh, no, what are you doing? Get it together, witch. Oh, hey, you two. Oh, no. Oh, grab it. Not necessary. That was a lot of drama for no reason. Oh, I don't see them anywhere. Oh no, where are they at? Lady Farna say, oh, Serpico's got a lot of blood there. I'd probably get to Serpico getting healed. He's got a lot of blood on that cloak. You shouldn't move yet. It's okay. They were clinging to the log, so I'm sure they're safe. Schierke's searching for their ode. They're my responsibility. I abandoned myself to a force. If I'd just been more stable. Hey, don't be so tense. Oh, Guts is like, hey, I know what it feels like to nearly let yourself go. It's okay. Just focus on what you got to do. Fine. That's like the softest we've ever seen Guts. Like when he's concerned about Casca. He's like, if you're that tense, you won't be able to do what you normally can. You did a good job, and I was honestly surprised. Oh, you think? You saved this village, even if it was a little rough. Nobody blames you for anything. Yep, we're much better than that dumbass duo. Ha! That being said, we're at your service, Miss Witch. She's calling you Guts dumbasses. Priceless. I meant you and him. Oh, Puck! Oh, I found them. I sense they're owed. They're both unharmed. But what's this? What's wrong? I like that Guts is being so, like, calm and patient with her. Because he's like, we gonna need her to move forward. Oh no! Damn it! Why are the trolls taking them away? Nope. Cleefoff. Oh, thank you, Mistress Witch, the great witch of the Spirit Tree Forest, the savior of Enoch Village. Yes, thank you, but we need to go find Casca and Farnace right now, actually. So that was nice. Goodbye. How in the world can you get to those amazing things? Covering the church in light and making floods. Be thankful. Well, I borrowed the power of angels and spirits. What saved this village were the 4 archangels in your scriptures that guard the north, the south, the east, and the west. Them, and one whose shrine was on this land even before your church, a river spirit called the Lady of the Depths. The Depths? I don't know her. But she's an angel we pray every day. Oh, yes. I heard such stories from my great-grandpa. It seems long ago there was a shrine to the river god on this hill. Because she had been forgotten for so long and then was suddenly called upon, the river spirit acted roughly. So what? They were dumps anyway. Thus, your village saw so much water damage because of my inexperience. Oh, I like that Ivalera's like, what? They wasn't much of a fixer-upper to begin with. Oh, well, that's no concern. Houses can be rebuilt. The fact that we're still alive is thanks to you. That's not the whole story. The anger inside of me towards the villagers allowed it to happen. So, on the one hand, she's saying, yeah, you guys haven't been praying to the spirit for a while, so it was kind of a little bit harder to control. If you guys pray to her a lot, then it'll be much easier to control, which connects to the whole idea of Griffith becoming more worshipped, meaning that the God Hand will have more power. Connects to that. But she's also like, my anger allowed it to be this rough. But we're not going to talk about that. Father, if you could, you might build a small shrine to the river spirit in the western quarter of this plaza. I like how he's changed his tune, being like, well, fair enough. Tolerance is God's teaching. Oh, yeah, sure thing. Sure, Jan. What an astonishment, though. A child like you make miracles like that happen. Is this magic something that anyone else can use? Are you going to become a witch or something? Oh, that might be nice. That way I can maybe skin some troll pelts. Learning magic requires extensive training. But if you want angels and spirits to hear your wishes, there are things anyone can do. Will it really be that simple? Your priest is well acquainted with the method. Visualize the figure of the angel in your mind, eh? Yeah, we're seeing this thrown around so much. Oh, Isidro. What's wrong, son? Leave me alone. What about you, old man, walking around already? Yeah, I'm a lot better off thanks to that little one. I guess right now I owe you some thanks. Thanks from a hero who saved the village. Psh, cut that out. I didn't do a damn thing. I didn't do anything. I can't do anything. I just make noise and run in circles. I'm a kid. Ah, yes. There was something I wanted to pass along. What is this? My old man won it in a bet with a sailor long ago. Being smaller, it should be easier for you to handle. You don't mind? Heck, I'd tossed it up in the rafters. Think of it as a parting gift from the old to the young. I remembered why I wandered into the forest that time. I ran away from this village work and my ailing mother. from those weighty, troublesome things. I ran away. Dreams are funny things. They can make for courageous challenges, but also opportune escapes. If at that time I hadn't met her, I wonder what I would have done. Which of the two is your dream? Well, another old story to try to sway the young. That's why I can't stand old people. Listen, old man, I told you mine's an ambition. It's on a different level than that warm and fuzzy kitty dream stuff like you talk about. I'll prove it that mine's the real deal. That being said, I'll gladly take this. Oh. I like that Morgan doesn't try to make Isidro choose. He doesn't try to like preach to Isidro. He's like letting him discover it on his own, but he's just like, just so you know, here's my experience. Now do with it what you will. How is he? It's nothing fatal, but he can't move right away. Oh, I'm glad Isidro isn't going to die. I was a little worried about that. The efficacy of the spell still has not left this church. If you spend the night, your wound should heal. However, we haven't the time to wait. Please go right away. Lady Farnesay is in your care. Give us that clavicle. I like his little pants buttoning up like that. We'll be back. Isidro, are you going to say you're going to go with him? Hey, don't just stand there. We'll leave you. Oh, okay. So Isidro's coming with Schierke. Okay. You're sure they're in this direction? I don't like this. I don't like this. We've been doing real good all volume. We've been doing amazing this volume. I don't like where this is headed. Nope. Not one bit. Not at all. And the worst part was, it was just like, it literally, the worst part about this was, it literally was Miura going, well, we need something to do now. We can't just end this on a normal note. I just made them fall off the roof. They've been standing there the entire battle. They were standing on the edge of that roof the whole time. When a giant troll, or an ogre rather, threw a beam into the edge of the roof, they didn't fall off at all. They didn't even stumble. But then at the end, when it was all washing away, they were suddenly like, oh no. I was like, Miura, that's such bullshit. That's such bullshit writing. Like, why? That's so contrived and stupid. Why would you do that? Just to make whatever is happening here, which I don't think is going to end well, be a thing. You didn't have to do this. What is this teaching us? Why'd you turn down the villagers' offer to lend a hand? Weren't women and children from the villain taken to this troll's den? I don't like where this is headed. Okay, they would be a hindrance. You two do your best to watch out too. Nothing says the remaining trolls will not attack this village again. The villagers can't afford to spare what little manpower they have left. At least we could have borrowed some wind goods from Serpy. There could have been a hurricane puck. Then I could have been hurricane puck. Oh my god. That is not quite possible. Once the owner of a fetish is established, the spirits are not likely to grant their powers to another. Oh! Besides, Serpico seems to have become firmly attached to the sylphs. Well, that's good at least. You can't just take their weapons and use it for yourself. So that's a good thing. Have you picked up any more thoughts from them? Not yet. I've called many times, but they seem to be unconscious. But they're all right. I can't sense any disturbances to their O's caused by harm to them. As long as they wear those silver shirts, it's impossible for the trolls to touch them directly. That's why they had them on the log. Okay, well, let's keep those shirts on them, shall we? You know, though, haven't the surroundings been gradually weirder since back there? It's like the opposite of when we got to the witch's mansion. Wait. Ew. Leave it to me, please. Oh, it's so weird. Like a little nose. It's kind of cute in a weird way. Oh. What was that? A face? A spirit creature. Might make a good pet. Yes, it's just as I feared. Really, I think the thing's laughable. As you feared, this is the astral world and not a very nice part. The astral world's a domain of darkness. The astral world's domain of darkness. Cleathoth. Oh, okay. So Miura just wanted an excuse for us to find out that there is a part of the astral world that is not nice and that is a den of all of these giant nightmare fuel ideas. Well, I guess if that's the reason we have to be here, to see this, to know it. We can't just tell us it. We have to experience it. Show, not tell. All right, fine. All of this looks terrifying. Don't like a bit of it. Nope. Cleathoth. The vast extent of the astral world comprises many domains, each with its own characteristic atmosphere. Ethereal bodies tend to gravitate towards odes of the same nature. Warm odes would be drawn towards warmth. Conversely, this place here, the darkness where hearts steeped in darkness congregate, that is Cleathoth, kind of like the bottom of the ocean. Oh, it's like the squids and the tarantulas. Normally, this could not happen. The astral and physical worlds are so distinctly overlapping each other. Trolls and ogres, elves and spirit creatures, ethereal life forms are being perceived by humans almost as if they had physical bodies. They were originally inhabitants of our mental world, in nocturnal dreams and fantasies. If they were to end up existing in the physical world, well, then what'll happen? We'd make a killing of it if we trained that. I don't know. Yeah, so I like the idea that it's like before we have this idea of the worlds being disconnected and you just could think about them, but you couldn't perceive them in reality. The fact of nightmares becoming real is a problem. The world would be transformed. No, perhaps it has already started happening with the appearance of a certain person. Yeah, yep, the God hand's wanting to transform the world and bring them all crashing down together. You know, fun times. Fun times like that. Why would we want anything different? Taint. Oh, the trees with the human faces are creepy. Creepy. Oh, God. Miura, what acid were you taking? This is all, I mean, I appreciate the creativity of the monster designs. They're so ghoulish. But, yeah, this place is swarming with crazy stuff. And there's a flying eyeball. Oh, my God. Oh. Inside here is the troll's den. Welp, we're just going to get them and get out. That seems like a very logical thing to do. All of this seems disturbing. We just need to get out. We don't need to disturb any of this. This all is pretty nightmare fuel. But you know what? If we just grab them and go, that seems like a good idea. Oh, Casca. I'll try calling them again. Okay, good. All right, we got Casca. They still got their shirts on. We're great. Ew. No. Is that the monster that, like, got Gaston? No. No, 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 no. Oh my God. Ew. Ew, ew, ew. Oh my God. The fungi growing out of people's eyeballs. Oh my God. Nope. Nope, nope, nope. Nope. Nope, nope. Absolutely not. Nope. Not having it. Oh my God. Ew. Oh no. Look at the little skeletal things with the skeletal hands and the faces. Oh my God, how gross. And them just eating the female bodies apart. Oh no, no, no. Mm-mm-mm. Mm-mm-mm. None of this business. Nope. Farney's ode is suddenly disturbed. She was shocked by the surrounding scene. Yep. Okay, calm down. As long as you wear the silver shirts, no harm will come for you. Well, easy for you to say. Let's go, Casca. Ugh. You said no harm will come to you. Just, I guess, don't touch the beings. Oh. Are you all right? Yes. It was nothing. Here I am wielding a blade to protect someone else. What? Am I about to turn this page and see some nonsense? Am I about to turn this page and see some unnecessary, not needed nonsense? Because I think I am. I don't know. I think what I've seen so far is pretty disturbing. I don't think I needed to see more, but am I about to turn this page and see some unnecessary Miura bullshit? Is it about to happen? I think it's about to happen. It is about to happen. Oh my God. Why? I implore you. Please, I implore you. Notice that the only ones taken to the cave were women and children. I implore you to tell me what you're getting out of this. I implore you to tell me how this affects you. How do you feel about this? Do you feel disgusted? Do you feel the need to go talk to a woman and ask if she's okay? Please, tell me how this is good. Oh my God. Oh my God. What? Don't attract their attention. Oh my God. Oh shit. Oh. Oh, that's the end of the volume. Well, that's nice. That's good that we've ended there. And that's how the trolls are made. Oh, okay. Oh. Oh. Mm-hmm. 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 Look. Who is this for? Who is this for? I encourage you in the comments to enlighten me. If you just told me, I understand there's show and tell, but this is the definition of unnecessary. No one was clamoring to ask, I wonder how these trolls and demons reproduce. Nobody was asking that. You could have just had, you didn't even have to have it that the trolls are reproducing. You could just said like, well, they all come from darkness, from the astral world. They're all perceived from negative thoughts or some shit like that. This has no bearing. And this is my thing about it too, is that this is my thing about it as well. Again, if you're talking about it's a male audience reading it, none of your men reading the story will ever be able to biologically bear children. Unless they're a trans man, presumably. So with your supposedly heterosexual male audience that I'm assuming these comments are referring to, none of y'all ain't ever going to be able to have children. So who is this body horror directed to? How are you feeling horrified when you are watching as a reader, never knowing in your mind you're never going to experience this? This feels like some fetish shit. It feels like it's fetishizing, that it's sexualizing the body horror of women giving birth, and it's glorifying like the rape of them, is what it is reading as, which is disgusting. So I encourage you, 25 volumes into this series, after countless pages, to please enlighten me with your kind mansplaining how this is necessary. Or vice versa, if you are like me and consider this completely unnecessary and Miura glorifying and fetishizing something, please speak up in the comments down below. I would love to hear your thoughts. What the fuck? Miura, I hold you to a higher standard than that. And I was told that we were past all of that. So apparently that wasn't true. Anyway, there's some posters at the beginning of this volume, but I'm not going to be tapping into those until later on in the volume. So we'll cross that bridge when we come to it. But I feel like I've seen the worst of the worst. At this point, my thing with it is it's just desensitizing something that is a problem and that women face every single day, and that men we just don't understand it. I'm like, maybe you should. I wish, you know what? Miura, if you're going to go to this extreme to show how the trolls birth out, because apparently they don't come out of the woman's vagina, they burst out of her stomach, why weren't there some men impregnated in this? Why didn't we have some men assaulted and them get impregnated and have their guts burst out? Why didn't that happen? Where's the equity? You're going to use body horror? Why don't you let your male audience experience some horror and have it happen to them in the story? That's what I'm saying. If you're going to do this and then give this bullshit excuse, commenters who you know who you are, that, oh, this. Yeah, no. If the trolls had just taken civilians into the forest and that was the explanation, and I know what somebody's in the comment, they're going to say, they're going to be like, well, how could they do the penetration? You know exactly how. And I'm like, yeah. And if their comment was, well, the male and men don't have a womb. And I'm like, I don't even want to hear about it. I want to hear about you adding a talk, trying to have a scientific biological talk to explain this bullshit. What a literary masterpiece. It's so frustrating because I loved this volume up until the point that Casca and Farani say fall off of the roof for no reason. For no reason. They just fell off for no reason. Like Miura couldn't think of anything else. He was just like, I'll just have them fall off the roof, I guess. And get swept away, I guess. And then carried away by the trolls. I'm like, if you were using an excuse for them to get carried into the trolls' den to explain the darkest recesses of the astral world, fine. You know what? If that's what you had to do it for, to get that accomplished and to show some really cool body, like horrific art, but showing the dead naked bodies of women with like the animals coming in and out of their bodies, that was kind of gross enough. We got the picture, we got it. But it's just like Miura can't resist going too far for no reason. Like this, who is this appealing to? Who wants to see this? Do you like seeing this? And I hate the excuse. At this point, it's so cliche and tired now of, well, Miura's just showing the horrors of the world. He's been showing us the horrors of the world for 24 volumes. We get it at this point. This is just unnecessary. Now, just my scholarly take on it. I don't know if I'm assuming that was Casca's response. So I don't know if Casca's going to have a reaction to this next volume where she's going to see this and go, ugh. I don't know if it's going to elicit something in her. Guts is probably going to be pissed because he's going to remember it and be reminded of it. So I don't know. But anyway, I'm curious to hear your thoughts down below about this scene and everything else. But y'all, over it officially. I'm going to keep reading because I like Schierke's character and I'm curious to see what she's going to do in this series. But this garbage, I hold Berserk to a very, very high standard. But when it comes to like shit like this, I don't think I can give it a 10 out of 10 because not needed nor unnecessary. So come at me, bros. But anyway, I hope you all have a wonderful week. Please stay safe, take care, and yeah, I'll be back eventually to talk more next week about Berserk. Bye! See ya!